Hi team, I'm here today to talk to you about contacting and follow-up. So I have some notes and I have my highlighters, so you might notice in me looking down and highlighting. I want to make sure I hit all the points. When I first started posting about Plexus on Facebook, I had people start coming to me wanting to know what it was about and working with them. But then I started thinking about people who I know who could possibly benefit from the products or the business based on what I was learning, but they hadn't come to me yet. I had friends with IBS or psoriasis or eczema or wanted to lose some weight. So I wanted to start reaching out to them. And I didn't really know how to do that. So this is going to be kind of my system of what I do to try to help you with that. Most top ambassadors will tell you you should have this list of 100 people. You're like your 100 people you think, I should reach out to them. They could benefit from, the products or the business. Now I will tell you that was a little overwhelming to me, the idea of trying to come up with this list of 100. So what I decided to do was I somehow saw where you could download your Facebook friends, like a list of those. So that's what I did. I went and I downloaded my Facebook friends and I copied and pasted them into a spreadsheet and printed that off. So this right here is all of my Facebook friends. Now if you want to do this, how to do this, it can be found on our team Facebook page called Pink Wellness, and it is called download Facebook friends. So I have my list downloaded, ready to go. So what I started to do was every day, Monday through Friday usually, Saturday and Sunday I take off, I contact 2 people. Now these are not people that are coming to me, these are people I'm going to. I think some call that like cold messaging. Can be scary, but you're thinking about people who maybe you have seen post something about health issues, or that they have health issues, or that they, have had a new baby and that they could use more energy. So these people you're thinking that could possibly use the products, or maybe the business. Maybe they're always complaining they don't have enough money, or their spouse has lost a job. So I'm reaching out to them, really thinking that this could help them. So like I said, 2 a day I reach out to. I have kind of over time come up with some scripts or things that I say or ask or try to just start the conversation with. You want to remember, you want to be simple. You don't want to puke plexus. You don't want to give them too much information and scare them away. And if possible, try to end with some sort of question, because that tries to encourage a conversation. And try to be personal. So I might say something like, I know Sue is always saying how she has to have naps and can't make it through the day. So I might send her a message that says, hey Sue, really love seeing your daughter's ballet pictures. Remember when my daughter Emma was there and how I missed that? Saw how, you're always posting about needing naps. Man, I used to be like that. But since starting Plexus, let me tell you about the energy. Have you ever heard about Plexus? There you go. There's my question. I put it out there. Maybe just someone who has some gut issues. I myself have benefited from the Plexus products with gut issues, so I might just say, hey, don't know if you've seen my Plexus post, but man, has my life changed and my gut health changed. Have you seen anything you're interested in? Or, can I send you more information? So trying to be simple, don't puke too much, and try to end in a question. Then as the conversation goes back and forth, you can give them more and more information. So I have kind of come up with some different scripts I use based on kind of how well I know the person, what we're looking at. That can be found as well on our team Facebook page called Pink Wellness. So those are just some scripts. I think it's called Scripts and Reaching Out. Yes, so you can go and look for that if you'd like to use those, you'd like to change them, do whatever. So that is what I do. I contact 2 people a day. Going through my Facebook friends, now I also look around where I work. Is there people that I think could benefit from the products? I'm a teacher, so I know how much energy it takes. So talking to teachers about that. So I look around my work and say, hey, maybe I could contact them. So I will add those to my list, and maybe, a couple days a week I will contact a couple of those people. I pay attention to what people post on Facebook. Like I said, if they're, talking about health struggles or financial struggles, I might contact them. And I also, let's see, what else do I have? Anybody who comments or likes my post about Plexus, I always make sure to contact them because that's them kind of reaching out in a subtle way. So, I look around my work for people I think might benefit. anyone who comments or posts on my Plexus post, and then through my Facebook friends, just starting through those. And as I've thought about other people maybe that aren't Facebook friends or acquaintances, then I will start contacting those. So that's just kind of where I started with contacting. I'm still kind of working my way through my Facebook list of friends. I've been doing that for a couple months because I'm just doing 2 a day. So that's kind of the contacting. So get some sort of list to start from, whether you use a Facebook list, whether you just think about people, but start contacting and try to be consistent about, doing it every day or 4 to 5 days a week. Let's see. Side note, just so you know, your Facebook post will show up more on someone's feed the more that you interact with their Facebook post. So like their pictures, comment on things, wish them happy birthday. Those are all easy things because the more that they see your posts, the more seeds that you're planting, and the more that hopefully it's going to get in their head that, hey, maybe this is something that could help me. So I think that's it for contacting. Just start contacting. These are just some ways that I've went about trying to figure out who to contact. Okay, the next is follow-up. So follow-up is so important. I will tell you when I first started that I would contact some people or people would contact me and I didn't really have a system and I didn't always follow up with them. And then when I would, or I would see them post something about Plexus and I'm like, oh my gosh, if I had followed up, they might be buying from me. So, have to have a system. Here's my system. I'm not saying it has to be yours, but this is one that kind of from watching other videos and figuring out what works for me. I've had a couple different ones. This is what I am currently using. So when I first started in my binder, which is all of my customers and ambassadors information, and you can find, I have a video about my binder if you haven't watched that. I had a sheet called potential customer information. Not for sure if that's backwards for you, but when someone would contact me about Plexus or I would contact them, I would start one of these. And this would be kind of my thing that I would file every few days or every couple weeks and contact them. Well, when I started contacting 2 a day, that became too many sheets in my binder. So I had to come up with another system. So what I decided to do was I came up with a follow-up binder. So this is my binder. And in here, I have 26 tabs. I didn't actually ever go buy tabs. I just, these little sticky things that I wrote on them. But it's one letter of the alphabet on each one. And then I made a blank spreadsheet that I have for each letter of the alphabet. So it just has the potential's name. That's where I just, or potential, a spot for potential. I just put their name, and then if I know a health concern or when they contact me back about a health concern, I'll put that there. And then it says initial contact and then follow up. So I just put the date and kind of information that I sent them the first time. Then if they follow up with me, I make a little note and back and forth and back and forth. So this is kind of my record of what conversation we've had until hopefully they buy or they join me. So this can be found on our team Facebook page as well, and it's just a blank, I think I called it blank spreadsheet, or potential spreadsheet is what it is. So I have one of these under each letter of the alphabet. So as I going through my Facebook friends, or as I'm contacting friends from work, so I contact Ann Jones. So I send her the message, I see you're always taking naps. So, oh my gosh, I can't believe this stuff called Plexus. Have you ever heard of it? It's really helped me. So then I sent her the message. I would go to A, put Ann Jones, today's date, and then just sent, beginning message. Or I sometimes call them cold messages because I just know that's kind of my beginning information. So something. Now, hopefully she's going to respond. I'm going to put what she maybe asked because I'm going to end in a question, remember, and kind of the back and forth. She may not respond, and that's okay. What you have to remember about not response. No response doesn't mean no. It just maybe means not right now. They forgot about it. So that's why you want to follow up, because I get a lot of messages. You do too. People ask me to buy things, do things. I open it up. I look at it. I'm walking down, walking in the house, and I forget about it. So that's why we want to make sure that we follow up. So that's kind of my binder of when I'm contacting those 2 a day, I'm making notes as I'm contacting them. Now, let's see. How do I kind of keep track of who do I want to follow up with? Because part of my daily, like I said, I contact 2 people a day. I also follow up with people every day. So what I have done for that, and this goes in the front of that binder. This is just a blank calendar. And so each month, at the beginning of the month, I fill it out with the dates. And I go through and I look at who I've contacted. And who do I need to follow up with for the month? And I'm continually adding to this because if I start a conversation with someone today and they contact me tomorrow, well, I'm going to follow up with them in a couple days. Like I'm not going to wait a month or so. But so at the beginning of the month, I take this and I go through here and say, okay, well, Ann Jones, I sent a message to a month ago. I haven't heard from her. I'm going to follow up with her on, let's say, the second of the month. So I just put Ann Jones. Or maybe Kathy Thompson. We'd had a couple conversations, but we haven't talked in 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a couple months. Okay, well, this month I'm going to follow up with her. And it may be that the person's name gets, like, I may follow up with them on the 2nd and they respond to me on the 5th. Well, then I'm going to go and put their name back on like the 18th. Like I'm going to keep following up with them. But this is kind of, I get the beginning of the month, go through this and look at, oh, who have I not, have maybe not gotten responses from in the last month to 6 weeks. I want to for sure follow up with them. And then if there's somebody I'm having a conversation with, and I want to follow up in a couple weeks, I do that. So this is, I start with this at the beginning of the month. Who do I want to contact? But then as the month goes along, I am adding people based on conversations that people, maybe someone says, hey, I want to know about that Plexus. So I contact them. I put it in the binder of, I talked to Sheila Parks today, but then I put on here, okay, follow up with her in a week. Because I don't want to, if someone comes to me or answers one of my, my cold messages, I don't want to wait a month till I go back to make a new one of these. I want to follow up in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. So I'm going to put her name on here to make sure I do that. So sometimes it sounds a little complicated. This is just what I found that works for me, because then every day I look at this, figure out who I need to contact them, and then I cross them off. And like I said, if I want to contact them again, I just put them farther down in the month. But I'm always making notes of what I said to them and the dates that I contacted them. What I like about the Facebook messages is that you can go back and see your thread, so you kind of know that. But I do like to keep track of all that. And so this calendar I also have on the team Facebook page, Pink Wellness. I think it's called Blank Calendar. Pretty easy. I just found it online if you would like that. So really it's all about getting a system. So I came up with a system of how am I going to come up with a list of who to contact 2 a day. Came up with a system of how am I going to keep track of who I'm contacting, what I say with them, with my binder or my alphabetical areas, and then I make that calendar of who I'm going to follow up with. And that's one of the things I do daily. I do have a daily to-do that I look at every day, and one of them says contact 2 people, follow up. So I think it's really important to make that list too, so remember to do that. Like I said, I do this stuff Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday, it's kind of, if people message me, I'll message them back and forth, but I'm not actively searching out. That's kind of my time with my family. Just like I said before, if someone doesn't respond, remember that's not a no. And if someone says no, not at this time, that doesn't necessarily mean a no. When I get someone say, oh, I'm not interested at this time, or I'm trying something else, or something like that, I will always respond back something like, oh, totally understand, but hey, if something I post on Facebook sparks an interest in you, please let me know. Then I'm leaving that conversation open. Now I will also, with those people that have said, not at this time, or I don't have the money at this time, anytime there's a special that Plexus is offering or that I'm offering, I make sure to tell them about it. They may not be interested. They may just be saying that to be nice to me. I don't know. But until they actually say, no, I am never going to be interested in them, I leave them on my contact list. Because I've seen lots of ambassadors talk about how they went back many, many times, and people are like, oh yeah, I guess maybe I really should try this. And then ended up having huge success or even becoming ambassadors. So just remember, no doesn't always mean no. May just mean no, not right now. And a no response does not mean no. It may just be I forgot. And it could be no. So just trying to come up with a system, making sure you're contacting and making sure you're following up. If you have any questions about any of this, just let me know. Thanks.